Here's a shocking truth that most business leaders refuse to acknowledge. The AI bubble everyone's panicking about might actually be the best thing that could happen to your company. While industry experts are sounding alarm bells and investors are getting cold feet, smart business leaders are quietly positioning themselves to capitalize on what comes next. But here's where it gets controversial. Maybe we need this bubble to burst. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Back in mid-August, Sam Altman, the mastermind behind OpenAI, dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. He admitted that despite AI's revolutionary potential, the current investment frenzy has spiraled completely out of control, warning that someone's gonna get burned by this reckless spending spree. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Just days later, MIT delivered what felt like a knockout punch to the AI industry with their brutal Gen AI Divide report for 2025. Their findings? A staggering 95% of corporate generative AI pilot projects are crashing and burning, delivering absolutely zero measurable returns on investment. Think about that for a moment. 19 out of every 20 AI initiatives are complete failures. Now, before you start questioning whether we're witnessing the beginning of the end for artificial intelligence, let me share something that might surprise you. I've been sounding warnings about this AI hysteria since early 2024, back when most people were still caught up in what I call the gas lamp moment of artificial intelligence development. Throughout this year, I've watched companies throw money at flashy agentic AI solutions while completely ignoring the fundamental reset that desperately needed to happen. Here's the part most people miss. And this is where my perspective might ruffle some feathers in the tech community. While technology vendors are working overtime to convince everyone that there's absolutely no bubble to worry about, those of us operating outside their influence bubble, particularly enterprise chief information officers, have a golden opportunity to approach AI with what I call rational exuberance. And this is precisely why the AI revolution will ultimately benefit businesses, regardless of whether we're in a bubble or heading straight for one. Let me explain why this apparent chaos is actually creating unprecedented opportunities for savvy business leaders. The vendor landscape that emerges from this AI bubble will have one powerful characteristic that no market correction can eliminate. The cream will rise to the top. As a CIO or Chief AI Officer, you can leverage this natural selection process by cutting through the marketing noise and identifying the core AI vendors that will genuinely transform your organization's capabilities. Here's some data that might challenge conventional wisdom. The same MIT report that revealed the 95% failure rate also uncovered something fascinating about successful AI implementations. Companies that partnered with specialized AI vendors and built strategic relationships succeeded approximately 67% of the time. In stark contrast, organizations that insisted on building everything internally only succeeded about 1/3 as often. This creates a controversial but undeniable conclusion. Your internal development teams, despite their expertise and good intentions, might actually be sabotaging your AI success. By collaborating with specialized external vendors, you can potentially triple your chances of AI project success. However, this approach will likely encounter significant resistance from your technical teams who suffer from what's known as not invented here syndrome. The belief that anything built externally can't possibly be as good as what they could create themselves. But here's where it gets really interesting, and where I expect some serious pushback from the AI community. Every AI strategy desperately needs this reset. Whether we're in a bubble or not becomes irrelevant when you realize that virtually every enterprise AI strategy currently in existence needs a complete overhaul to incorporate proper governance, risk management, and compliance frameworks from day one. Without this foundation, companies are essentially taking one step forward and two steps back with every AI initiative. This becomes increasingly critical as organizations evolve from basic AI and machine learning projects to generative AI implementations, and eventually to fully autonomous agentic AI systems. Each evolutionary step dramatically amplifies the risk profile for your entire organization as artificial intelligence burrows deeper into your core enterprise applications and workflows, becoming more automated and operating with greater independence. The risk escalation with agentic AI is particularly alarming, and this is something most executives are completely unprepared for. The more we automate and orchestrate through AI agents, the more we're essentially handing over control of critical business processes to systems that can make decisions without human oversight. Investing time and resources into AI orchestration and governance frameworks right now, before the technology becomes even more sophisticated, will enable your organization to scale AI implementations more rapidly and advance your AI maturity significantly faster than competitors who are still chasing the latest shiny AI toy. Your IT team just became more valuable than ever. Here's a perspective that's going to anger a lot of AI evangelists and consulting firms. Despite all the hype about AI disrupting the consulting industry and potentially replacing entire IT departments with vibe coding and automated development, the reality is far more nuanced and, frankly, sobering. Anyone who has experimented with AI-enabled website builders or automated coding tools knows the truth. While these applications look incredibly impressive on the surface, with lines of code flashing dramatically across the screen, the actual results are often disappointing, buggy, and nowhere near production ready. This means your internal IT team has never been more valuable or essential to your organization's success. As a technology leader, you can harness their deep institutional knowledge and technical expertise to deploy AI strategically where it delivers genuine productivity improvements, while ensuring that AI projects meet the robust reliability and security standards your business demands. It's also perfectly acceptable and actually beneficial for AI pilot projects to fail as part of your organization's learning process. These failures provide invaluable insights that inform and refine the AI technical architecture that's most suitable for your specific organizational needs and constraints. Who's really to blame when AI projects fail? Now we arrive at perhaps the most controversial aspect of the entire AI discussion, and I guarantee this will spark some heated debates. AI vendors have developed a convenient narrative for explaining away failed AI implementations. They consistently point fingers at companies for having inadequate vision, poor leadership, and insufficient change management practices. They love to lecture businesses about the importance of seeking revolutionary new business models, products, and services enabled by AI, while warning against the supposedly naive approach of simply applying AI to existing processes or focusing on cost reduction. While there's some validity to these criticisms, this vendor narrative conveniently ignores the other half of the equation. And this is where I expect significant backlash from the AI industry. In numerous cases, the failures are directly attributable to fundamental limitations and problems with the AI technology itself. The persistent challenges around accuracy, hallucinations, privacy violations, safety concerns, and security vulnerabilities have contributed to generative AI's current descent into what Gartner terms the trough of disillusionment. For technology leaders, however, this disillusionment phase actually represents excellent news. When you're at the bottom of the trough, there's literally nowhere to go but up in terms of future technological improvements and productivity gains. The key is maintaining a balanced perspective. Absolutely review and strengthen your organization's vision, leadership capabilities, and change management approaches around AI implementations. But don't let vendors off the hook by accepting all the blame for technological shortcomings that are clearly beyond your control. The dot-com deja vu that changes everything. For those of us who lived through the dot-com boom and bust of the late 1990s, this entire AI bubble saga feels like watching a rerun of a movie we've seen before. Except this time, we know how it ends. History teaches us a fundamental truth about emerging technologies. We consistently overestimate their immediate potential while dramatically underestimating their long-term transformative power. The internet didn't disappear when the dot-com bubble burst. It emerged stronger, more practical, and infinitely more valuable than anyone had imagined during the peak of the hype cycle. AI technologies are unquestionably transformational, and the current market turbulence is actually accelerating innovation as companies work to address current limitations and make AI systems more robust and reliable. Composite AI approaches, for example, are already being deployed to combine multiple AI technologies in ways that create synergistic effects where the collective capability exceeds the sum of individual components, effectively addressing the weaknesses of any single AI technique. So, here's my controversial conclusion that I'm confident will generate some passionate responses. Whether there's an AI bubble or not is completely irrelevant to your business success. Like any bubble throughout history, the winning strategy involves focusing on the fundamental value proposition, maintaining rigorous due diligence practices, leveraging the collective wisdom of your partners and teams, and continuously testing, learning from, and monitoring the technology as it evolves. This isn't about retreating or playing it safe. It's about innovating with rational exuberance instead of reckless abandon. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the AI bubble is helping or hurting business innovation? Are companies better off waiting for the dust to settle, or should they be doubling down on AI investments right now? And here's the big question that's sure to divide opinions. When AI projects fail, who's really at fault? The technology or the implementation strategy? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I have a feeling this discussion is going to get interesting. And I'm particularly curious to hear from those who disagree with my perspective on why AI bubbles actually benefit businesses in the long run.